Whoa, 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 whoa. You're telling me there's a new Super Saiyan Goku and a baby Frieza that you can get from the third annual championship battle between Global, the US of A, and all the other A's versus JPP. I gotta win this one. Because I actually was looking at these cards. They've been leaked. They've been out there. They actually look really cool. I mean, both look really cool. Frieza starts off from his baby all the way up through his, you know, awkward teens into Golden Frieza. And then your boy Goku goes from Super Saiyan Goku all the way up to Super Saiyan Blue. It's actually, they're both really cool in the evolution and stuff. And it looks like it's going to be yet again another versus bout. Hopefully JP doesn't scheme like they did last time. Looks like 7 events, and it looks like the cards actually look kind of cool. And if you remember, believe it or not, I mean, you could believe it or you could choose to not believe it, but on Global, the last time this championship battle went down, we ended up losing it. A lot of people said that JP schemed, which is possible, but at the end of the day, they're the champions. And we are the ones who were left with, where's this guy at? Oh, there you go, right there. We were left with Yamcha. There's a lot of things wrong with this guy. He's wearing disgusting blue shoes. He's got his pants all the way up to his fucking nipples. Like, who wears pants like that? The only other person who wears pants like that is Steve Urkel. It's disgusting. It's retarded. I have no clue why we ended up getting this guy. I wanted Vegeta. This guy is a retard. I hate him so much. If only we were able to get that beautiful, bountiful man Vegeta. It didn't happen, though. But with this new one, I'm going to try to take off work. I'm going to try to maybe quit my job even. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Possibly, probably, maybe just, you know, if you got a girlfriend, wife, kill her, get rid of her. Just, seriously, like, we got to win this one. The fucking Japanese nuked us last time, which, you know, a bit ironic when you think about it. But, it just ain't right. It just ain't right. And hopefully those units are kind of good. I don't know if they'll be good, like, leader skill-wise. Usually free units aren't great leader skill-wise. But I'm assuming that Goku's God tier as a unit, and I'm assuming that Frieza's God tier as a unit. And I'm, honestly, the fact that Dokkan somehow realized, they're like, listen, okay, we can, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Dokkan realized, they said, listen, we went to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. What else is there to do? There's nothing else left in the game. They're like, whoa, 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 what if we could somehow manage to combine characters? Now, you could do everything all over again. Super Saiyan Goku Frieza, Super Saiyan 2 Goku and Vegeta. That's pretty much what LR Gogeta and LR Vegeta are. You know, you basically doubled the amount of characters you can make. And let's be honest, everybody wants double characters, because even in the show, they just had Goku and Vegeta, but in this game, you get Goku and Vegeta? That's pretty crazy. But that actually is pretty cool. It does add a bit of longevity to the game just because of the fact that it's actually something kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. It's not, I don't know, like, I don't know if people even care about their abilities. I mean, they look like God tier units. As long as they're not terrible, I'd imagine most people would use them. Even that crappy Yamcha they gave out last time wasn't terrible, but that art, like, I can't use him with that bowl cut. It's disgusting. I refuse to use that Yamcha. But either way, I would say that for the 250 million celebration, even if the poor Howie, damn, this guy's attacking 8 million times. Even if the poor global players do not get to get Super Saiyan Goku, Frieza looks pretty cool too, honestly. Like, he doesn't look like he's retarded. I kind of wish that his final, I kind of wish that for Goku and Vegeta, I mean Goku and Frieza, that it wasn't their Super Saiyan Blue forms, like Super Saiyan Blue and Super. But I guess it makes sense since that's like the quote-unquote final form. I would have liked it more if it was just like LR Goku and then LR Frieza, and it was just like some type of difference. Because, I don't know, Golden Frieza is kind of cool, but I prefer regular final form Frieza. And Super Saiyan Blue is kind of cool, but I prefer either Super Saiyan 3 or just Super Saiyan. But then again, I guess if you're going to go through the LR phases and have it like go up to some random, I don't know, final form, I guess you need like 2 or 3 forms. But either way, I mean, it looks like a decent enough card. I mean, the art looks badass, and the whole thing surrounding it looks badass. And I guess for the 250 million celebration, I'm guessing, I don't know, that they would possibly basically give out these 2 for free and then have like a Dokkan festival where they have like a better version of them or something similar. Because usually, I mean, for most celebrations, they actually have like some type of, I don't know, like a unit or something to go behind. At least, I mean, for the most part. Although it might be something where like in the past where they just had really good banners with characters that came out somewhat recently. But either way, all I'm trying to say is I gotta dedicate myself, mind, body, and soul, to doing these events. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been lacking right now. I got a lot of missions I didn't do in Dokkan. A lot of missions. Mostly because of the fact that, honestly, like, for example, this Extreme Z Omega Shenron battle. It's actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun to play. But when it comes to, like, the Ginyus, like, they're alright cards. They're kind of cool. But the map, like, just to get the stupid orbs is so boring. Like, it's beyond boring. It's just tedious and repetitive, and it's not fun. So, and I didn't even want them that much. Usually if there's a stage that's, like, retarded and boring and just zaps, I'll usually, for the most part, yeah, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna do that. I'll usually, for the most part, just, like, put Frep or something like that and just basically farm it with a script. But I was like, I mean, Guineas are cool, but I don't think they're that necessary. So I'm like, I'll just skip out on this. I mean, I played the event a couple times. I have the card. It's just the fact that in order to get them to 100% each and get, like, 10 copies of each, or 14 if you want to make it 100%, it's going to take time. And it's just, I don't know, it's kind of boring. In the past, I kind of liked the events. Like, that's the thing. Like, if it's fun, I don't care. Like, in the past, for example, the Super Strike events, they were kind of cool when they first came out. The characters weren't that amazing, but it was kind of fun. It was kind of cool to, get those units. And I kind of wish that they would rebrand the Super Strike to something similar, because in the past, like, the big, like, get was the fact that you could take this SR, train them all the way up, and then you could have an SSR and then a UR, and now that's kind of like no one really cares. But when the game first, like, when that first happened, I was like, ooh, that's not bad. Not bad. Free UR? Not bad at all, boss. Not bad at all. But I guess that, I don't know, I guess as the game has progressed, it's kind of gotten harder and harder to actually make something that isn't super duper OP for free, as well as something that isn't super duper boring. Because I at the end there, like, for the other Super Strikes, it wasn't necessarily terrible. It wasn't necessarily, like, the most boring thing. But, I mean, even for me, I don't know what the last Super Strike was. I probably did it, and I probably got the unit. But it's like, it's a lot of grinding. It did become fun because they did let you use any unit. You could use any unit. It doesn't matter. You don't have to use, like, a specific fucking team, which was kind of cool. But at the same time, it's also kind of annoying because, like, well, not annoying, but it kind of defeats the purpose of the event, because it becomes so easy that it's not, like, anymore. It's not really a challenge to any degree, and it kind of lost the fun factor. Kind of fun for like a week or two, but then after that I was like, alright, I mean, who cares? Like, I could farm this event a million times and beat the boss a million times, but the units aren't that good and it's not that fun. I mean, some units were, like, worth the grind, quote unquote, like, for example, LR Goku and LR Frieza. Although LR Frieza, I remember, like, LR Goku's grind, like, I really should have just, like, done a little bit and then did the rest auto, but I did most of it manually, which was, that was a mistake. I messed up. I should have just done that shit as, like, just with a script or something, because that made a lot more sense, and it would save a lot more time. But that's what I pretty much did with Frieza for the most part. I just did a script and got the medals, and I don't think I even got Frieza 100%, because, I don't know, just, I don't use them enough to actually go into the realm and be like, yo, gotta get this guy. Let's see. This guy usually is a piece of garbage in supers on the first guy, but there's nothing stopping him from supering on Vegito. I'd rather have him super either Goku Black or have him super your boy Ultra Instinct, because they both could take the hit a little bit better. Come on. Uh-oh. Not looking good. Not looking good right now. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I think it's cool that Dokkan actually kind of puts a little bit of thought into their units and their milestones, because ever since Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, I personally can't think of anything that's gigantic other than, like, quote-unquote fusion characters. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing to rehash units like Gogeta and, you know, even Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out twice. But I think it's kind of cool that they actually put a little bit of thought and got, like, newer units. And at the end of the day, it is a business. You got to put some type of a hype around your shit if you want people to lose their mind and pay $1 million and end up getting the game, or end up getting the characters rather. Oof. And that is something that I think a lot of games use to sell, like merchandising, is just cool characters. Because even in Dragon Ball FighterZ, I finally took the dip. I'm like, you know what? I can't help it anymore. I'm just going to buy the DLC because I wanted to play with Broly. I'm like, yo, Broly, he looks badass. At the end of the day, I mean, it's literally just character reskins. I mean, they have their own unique attacks, and they actually do add quite a lot. But at the end of the day, it's just more of an aesthetic thing for me. Because, you know, look at Broly. This guy, he's a handsome guy. If this guy ever dropped, you got to get him. Why? Because he has a cool super attack. It's the only thing that makes perfect sense. So that's the same thing with Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like, they have a lot of cool DLC characters. Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, Broly, Bardock, even Fuse-the-Mouse is kind of cool. So I think that's what it has always been in Dragon Ball Z games, is that they have to sell it with some character or something like that, which is cool, but also kind of sucks because that reminds me of the OG, the best game I ever played, Super Duper Budokai Tenkaichi 2, which had 8 zillion billion characters, and they all just came in the game. There was no DLC because it was PS2, that didn't exist yet. And that was oof. Like, the fact that there were so many characters, that made, like, me lose my mind. It still makes me lose my mind because there's really no new game that I can think of that has every single when I say every single Dragon Ball Z character, like in Budokai Tenkaichi 2, you could play as Ox King if you wanted to. Like, you could play as Ox King. I think the only person they might have been missing was Mr. Popo, but they probably would have added him. You could play as Kid Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, all of them, up to Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And what was cool is that, if I remember correctly, they kept the mechanic that Budokai 3 had, where, like, if you pick a character, mid-match you could transform. Like, say if you're picking base Goku, mid-match you could go Super Saiyan, and then you could go Super Saiyan 2. And the fighting styles did change a little bit. It wasn't gigantic, you know what I mean? Like, with that many characters, each one kind of shared a similar combo pattern and stuff. But that game was pretty cool, pretty good, man. Like, for anime fighters, like, I don't know what kind of derivative fighting game that was. Like, for example, Dragon Ball FighterZ is derivative from, like, Guilty Gear and stuff like that. And, you know, there's some games that are kind of similar to Street Fighter or Tekken, or, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is another, you know, example of, like, what do you call it? I'm going to take a chance. Of a Guilty Gear-esque game. And also, for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2, they had, like, ridiculous amount of characters, transformations, and moves. Like, they had all their super moves. And that game was good, man. I'm, like, tempted to buy another PlayStation 2 and basically just replay it or check it out again. But I feel like if I did that, more likely than not, I would end up playing it and be like, you know what, this game, as much as I loved it, it's not as good as I remember. You know what I mean? Like, there's been old games that I've played and I go, whoa. This game, I don't remember it being like this. I don't remember the graphics being this bad. Like, I remember I replayed Dragon Ball Sagas on the GameCube, and I was like, whoa. Like, the movement is weird. The graphics are ugly. And I'm like, whoa, I don't remember this. When did this happen? Which, you know, is one of the pangs and pains of growing up. Let's see. Let's do that. I'm honestly going to be surprised if I win this because I took a lot of L's, man. Lot of L's. Lot of L's. Lot of L's. I mean, I took a super to the face with Vegito, which is an L to begin with. And then, you know, now I'm just pretty much low HP McGee. But this Vegito, he could come through. If he gets a crit, ooh, hold up. Oh, Vegito, come on, bro. Oh, Vegito. Ooh, if he doesn't get supered, we're good. If he gets supered, that's a different story. Come on, Vegito. You are my hero. Come on, Vegito. You are my hero. Come on, Vegito. Look at that. K.O. Beautiful. That's the power of Super Saiyan Blue. If only he was that amazing. Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't get anything after 30. I guess you get Zenny. That's something, I guess. Yeah, 250 million celebration. That actually looks really cool. The characters look really cool. And it's another championship match between Global and Japan. So far, Global and Japan, in my opinion, is tied at the moment because Japan originally had a One Piece versus Dragon Ball Z championship bout. And they ended up losing it, technically. And they didn't get the amazing prize. An amazing prize at the time, actually, still is kind of amazing, is they gave you a state that gave you free UR Gokus. And as you can see, I've actually been waiting to get a really good UR Goku or a Super Saiyan Goku. And guess what? Guess what? Super Saiyan Goku, right? He's going to be the amazing reward on Global, so I could use these for him. But the thing is, we gotta put in a lot of time. Listen, if you play JP, if you play Global, where do you live, stupid? You don't live in Japan. You can't have dual citizenship. You can't be a Japanese citizen and a fucking American citizen or Latin American, whatever. Listen, it's us versus them. Us versus them. Remember World War II? Remember, word to the wise.
Remember Pearl Harbor.